Folks, if you have not been paying attention to the Prime Minister of New Zealand, let me just simply say this. She has absolutely 100% completely lost her mind. Now, this is very interesting because she goes before the United Nations General Council and she gives a speech and pretty much tells the whole world that it's time for the world governments to actually shut people's voices up because they are causing all kinds of bad things in the world. Now, I want you to listen to a portion of what she says. I'm going to quote it, and I got to tell you, this is absolutely horrendous. This is manipulation, and this is really bad stuff. But listen to what she said. She says, but what if that lie, told repeatedly and across many platforms, prompts, inspires, or motivates others to take up arms, to threaten the security of others, to turn a blind eye to atrocities or worse, to become complicit in them? Then what? This is no longer a hypothetical. The weapons of war have changed. They are upon us and require the same level of action and activity that we put into the weapons of old. We recognize the threats that the old weapons created. We came together as communities to minimize these threats. We created international rules, norms, and expectations. We never saw that as a threat to our individual liberties. Rather, it was a preservation of them. The same must apply now as we take on these new challenges. Okay, let me give you the translation of that because she sounds pretty convincing. She sounds pretty serious. She sounds like she's kind of making sense. But the translation of that is, shut the mouths of dissenters. Make people stop talking who do not agree with our globalist agenda and make sure their voices are not heard. And above that, make them fearful. Make them self-centered. Keep them, or self-censor. Keep them from being able to communicate the things that we know are true, but we don't want pretty much coming out. Now, I know I'm taking a lot of liberty with what she's actually saying, but that is the in-between the lines kind of speech. And folks, be very careful because this is happening. I'm going to tell you what it's ultimately going to actually translate to. It is going to translate to shutting the mouths of the Christians. Do not let the Christians speak. Do not let them open their mouths. Why? Because Christians are the preserving influence in this world that keeps this world from going into the place of complete and total destruction, and the world hates us. The world cannot stand believers. The world cannot stand free speech, and certainly the world cannot stand people standing up for righteousness. Folks, we got to wake up. The world is changing fast, and as Christians, we must open up our mouths, we must speak the truth, and we must stand up for righteousness. Don't ever back down. Why? Because the truth is, when we continue to speak about the gospel and the truth of what God is doing all around this world, it will change this world until he comes. So let's stay in it, you guys, and be careful of these horrible, tyrannical leaders that want to destroy your lives.